today I remembered a very nice story that is a reminder of the teaching that goes together, that has to go together with the practice. Usually Western people or foreigners who are outside Buddhistic culture, usually either they read Buddhist texts and they are really impressed. Then they slowly, when they have read enough, they slowly wanted to know whether this teaching actually works. So they come to practice. They come to start practicing meditation. Then we have another group of people who come directly to practice, to sit and meditate. Now these people, after sitting for some time, for the serious practitioner, then they realize that it is not enough for them to practice. They must also study the teaching of the Buddha. Therefore, it goes together. It goes together. So I will tell you a story of this one monk, one particular monk in the Buddha's time. His name was Poṭhila Thēra, means he's a senior monk, and he's also Acharya, he's a teacher. Very well known because he taught most of the monks. Many monks had been his disciples before, but he was very well versed in the text, in the teaching, not in the practice. So one day, by that time, he had already become a master of the teaching. One day, he attended the Buddha's teaching, and when the Buddha was leaving the place, the Buddha looked around and saw him, and he said, "Oh, how are you? My empty text." The Buddha teasingly called him empty text. So, being a master himself, he took that as a message that the Buddha was really directing to him. He realized that he needed to practice. So he was trying to get in touch with his own disciple, that now they have already become enlightened arahats. But whoever he went to see, they said, "Oh, simply, Master, I cannot simply teach you. You are such a great master." They were so scared of him. So he was very frustrating. Nobody would give him guidance to train the mind. Then he really kind of lost hope, So he went into the forest and he was sitting there under the tree. He was crying, weeping in desperation. Then the tree goddess came, and she was also crying with him, weeping and crying next to him. And he opened his eyes and he saw this tree goddess. "Why are you crying?" Then she said, "I don't know. I saw you weeping and crying, so I came and I wept along with you, thinking that this might be the way for enlightenment." Now he was even more ashamed of himself to receive this kind of reaction from the tree goddess. Now he tried once more. He went out and searching for some kind of anyone who could guide him. So he came across an information that this Samanera is only a novice, and this Samanera is only 7 years old, but he was already enlightened. So he went in this direction to seek for the Samanera. The Samanera, when he saw this master approaching him, apparently this master has been so pompous about his knowledge, and everyone knew about that, So the Samanera said, "How could I teach you? I'm only a small child, How could I teach you?" But then he was begging. The master was really begging, and "Please give me direction. How should I train my mind?" So the Samanera, the novice, wanting to test him out, whether he's still holding on to just being a great master. So he told, "Well, there is a pond here. There's a well. You jump into that well." So the master, without waiting, he just went and jumped into the well without asking further questions, complete faith that this might be some way to help him out. Then the novice realized, the arahat, the enlightened novice realized that, the master had given up lots of his holding on to this "I, me, my mind." "Okay, come up. Change your jira, change your look, and I cannot really teach you, but I will just tell you a story. As soon as you hear this story, you will understand what you can do with yourself." But there is this ant mole, and there are 6 holes. That there is one animal inside, a catco, suppose. Now this catco always go through this hole, coming out of this hole, 6 holes. Now you try to close all the 5 holes and watch that one hole. This catco will come out. This catco will come out. This catco, this animal, cries 3 words. 3 words. Now, with this story, now you can practice. So the master, of course, he is so well versed in the teaching. He knew right away what are the 6 holes, meaning the 6 doors, nose, eyes, ears, and the mind. So his practice. And now this animal cried 3 words. The 3 words is greed, anger, and delusion. Lobha, dosa, moha. He realized, immediately he realized. So he now closed all the 5 doors. All the 5 doors, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. And he was watching his mind only. Just opened that hole for the mind. Very soon he also became enlightened. So I like to tell this story because many of us, including myself, many of us tend to read a lot, tend to study a lot, but very little on the practice. Buddhism is great. We talk about 3 kinds of wisdoms. Sutta, Maya, Panya, that wisdom which you hear. Or now you can also imply for what you read. You know, that you go to the masters and you listen to the teaching of the masters. So that wisdom you learn by listening. Sutta, Maya, Panya. The second one is อันที่ 2อะไรนะอะไรปัญญาอะไรปัญญาอะไรปัญญาคะจินตามยปัญญาจินตามยปัญญา The second one is intellectual, intellectual. Also might be also imagination. That kind of wisdom which comes through in intellectualization. These had been in India before. But what the Buddha emphasized on the third one, that is the wisdom that comes through your own practice. Enlightenment, we talk about nirvana, we talk about enlightenment. That is the Buddha's enlightenment. It's not applicable to you, not applicable to me, unless I make this realization myself by my own practice. Only then it will be wisdom that actually is through contemplation, through this looking inside of myself, not anybody else. So this is called Bhavanamaya Panya. Buddhism is great in pointing out that unless and until it is Bhavanamaya Panya, the wisdom that comes through your own practice, only then you can become enlightened. So this, the empty text, he eventually could combine between his knowledge of the text and also Bhavanamaya Panya. So eventually he also became enlightened. We read a lot, but it is not enough to read. We intellectualize a lot, it's not enough. We have to combine the two and also add in the practice. So that's why you will understand the technique that we use here. Just simply be aware of that sensation. It is your sensation. It is your sensation. Only it is through the sensation, realizing this gross sensation, and then it takes you down to that even more subtle sensation, and then it takes you down to the sensation that had been collected in the past. There is no vibration, there is no recitation, as the technique that we do here, no recitation, because recitation could be suppressing for any natural vibration that might come up from inside of you, of me. So therefore, we don't even recite any mantra because we want to allow the space for the vibration to come up. So you simply note each sensation that is fresh sensation here, or sensation that may be sensation of the past, collected past, but it is even still strong. You think of something in the past and you start crying, right? So this sensation is very important because it brings you back to here, to our own sensation, and thus it will allow us to understand nobody else but ourselves. So this is part of the Bhavanamaya Panya that I would like to share with you. One line that I added to the story is that the last journey when the Buddha was walking from Vesali to Kushinagara. Kushinagara is the place that he planned to pass away there. In that last journey, he was walking alone with Ananda. And every evening that he stopped to meet this group of Buddhists, to meet this group of monks, the only topic that he was focusing on was Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila, morality. Samadhi, meditation. Panya, wisdom. And I explained further also that Sila, Samadhi, Panya is not linear. It's not a straight line like this. But once when you practice, it will make one round and it leads you to higher round. So when you come higher and higher, you will realize that at the very high level of Sila, Samadhi, Panya, you don't even have to take precepts. You don't even have to be careful about morality. It doesn't mean that you throw away morality, but the Sila, the precepts, is very much in you. It's integrated in your way of life already. So you cannot do anything else but observe precepts. You cannot do anything else but keep good morality. So at the higher level of Sila, Samadhi, Panya, it takes you higher. Now, without good morality, it doesn't bring about right meditation. So before sitting down for meditation, we always give precepts. As Buddhists, we always give 5 precepts at least, But I said at least, but actually 5 precepts is everything. Because 5 precepts is the mother of all the other precepts. If we understand the 5 precepts properly, that's how we continue on our life. 5 precepts doesn't mean that you have to be Buddhist. Because in the 10 Commandments, you have also the 5 precepts in the second part of the 10 Commandments. So it doesn't matter whether you are Christian, you are Jewish, from Jewish tradition, or you are Muslim. The same morality that needs for the foundation of meditation and of good life. Thank you. I just watched at the time, and it's now 11:28. It's time for us to move to the other building. Thank you.